Did you like it? Did you eat it too? You did? All of it?
We have a family mission. We kind of create a family mission statement. It's real simple. We say Pattersons are light in darkness.
Will there be any left?
My kids do that better than we do. I came up with the motto of light and darkness, but my kids, they're kind of the example sometimes for us to keep up with.
It's fun to talk through that as a family. It's fun to understand that God blesses us so that we can pass that along.
People in need more money than we have. We should give our money to them. We like to change people's lives by doing that.
And we've come to the point now where our default is to say yes. And we just assume that God will stop us if the answer is supposed to be no.
Just do a really big mouth. How about that? No, you don't like that.
I think I was relaxing in my bed. I was just chilling, laying down on my bed, just thinking, what should I do? And I was in between two ideas. Like, should I go play with friends or should I play video games? And then it just came to me. I'm like, oh, that's a better idea.
We sponsor 2 kids through Compassion International, a boy and a girl, and we do that as a family. We write them letters and all that stuff. And he came and said, I want to sponsor a kid. And I said, awesome, but the family isn't going to take on another kid. You're going to have to brainstorm a way to make this happen.
My idea, I think God gave it to me, and God just gave it to me out of the blue. I didn't know when it was going to happen and how it was going to happen.
So he came up with a neighborhood group. He said, I'm going to go around the neighborhood and I'm going to get everybody to sponsor. Well, that's an awesome idea and what a fantastic kid, but there's no way. There's just no way that people are going to give you $38.
Well, I came home, like, really sad. Mom said, what's wrong? I'm like, a lot of people said no. And then I'm like, I'm going back out. She's like, no, not yet. We're going to pray for you. And she prayed for me, and I went back out, and I got 3 more people on the list. So that's how it really happened.
I don't think that we thought it would work. I think that we had our own fears about engaging friends and neighbors with anything to do with God or the kingdom or anything like that.
You know, my 8-year-old can go out and grab a group of 12 people to sponsor a child. People want to get involved in things like that. So it made Allie and I realize that, you know, we should use some of the resources we have and some of the other efforts we've already done.
So as we think about Thanksgiving food drive, this year we started thinking very differently about how we would use it as a tool.
Never done Thanksgiving food drive boxes anyway besides Allie and I just getting boxes, going to Kroger ourselves and loading them back in our car and taking them to Crossroads.
There's been a few different ways that we've thought about using it as a way to engage other people.
Do the same thing like what Andrew did, just kind of group up, like what I've done with my office, like what Allie's done at the bagel shop, the same type of idea to say, hey, whether it's your kid's sports team or whether it's your office or whether it's your neighborhood, you know, take an extra box and see if you can get people to join in the effort.
One of those ways for me was a woman that I remembered a conversation we had a couple years back where she just kind of said, I see a self-centeredness, like a selfishness sort of taking root in my kids, and I don't like that, and I want to do something, to change that. So I decided I would call her and invite her to take a Thanksgiving food drive box with us this year, and they would do their own, and we would shop together. And then I invited her to come in November when we'll bring the boxes back, and I invited them to come with us for the weekend and return their box and just kind of join in the fun of that weekend. And she checked her calendar while we were on the phone and agreed. If every one of us invited somebody that we know, a friend or neighbor or coworker, into something that God is doing, like the Thanksgiving food drive, how many more people across the city would be invited into and engaged in at least brushing up against something that God is doing.
When I go through the Thanksgiving food drive line, I feel kind of crazy because people are like dressed up as clowns and they're just going, yeah. and they're screaming. I'm like, okay, I'm just in this car. Please don't scream. Don't scream.
So is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun. And then I remember last year people were funny. They were so funny.